Well, hello, YouTubers. When I last saw you, I was having some trouble getting out a couple things into the transmission, and you can see I've just about got it all the way tore down to the very back, and I did have to go ahead and take out the servo that was holding in the, here's the servo, popped it out, and it's in pretty good shape. I had to take it out in order to get out this this guy here. I checked all the teeth on the gears back here and on both sides, and everything's in good shape. So I just continued pulling stuff out. I pulled the band, the reverse band out, and there's a little clip that kind of sits right behind that reverse band like that. Basically, this just keeps this reverse band from moving around or anything like that. Then I pulled out the last clutch pack here. I want to take it apart today and check the seals on it and see if it's okay. And of course, there's a bearing there. Pretty easy transmission to take apart. Now, in order to get this servo out, in order to get out this big planet set, I did have to take off the valve body, which was very simple to do. There's a look at it, and there's quite a bit of screws in it. You got to take all the bolts on the outside and all the way around, and I believe they're all 8mm. And you can probably look up online if you're going to have to take your valve body off. You can probably find your bolts that you need to take out. And let me flip this up here a little bit. The gasket's in really good shape. I don't see no tears or anything. And if I set it up here, there's the back side. It's in pretty good shape. And I left my solenoids still in there. And there's a little screen right there. I checked it. It's in pretty good shape. I don't see no debris or crap in there. So it looks like I'm okay there. In order to get that servo out, right there, what I do, some guys have a tool that will let you take that servo out. And if I set that servo, let's see, it kind of sets in like this. I better put the spring back in real quick so I won't be able to get it back out. Like I said, the seal is in really good shape. In order to get that servo out, I just took a transmission bolt, one of the valve pan body, stuck up like this, put a bolt back in it, and I took my hammer and a little socket, and I put the socket right below the hammer, and I kind of push down like that. I think you can see that. Kind of push down, and I push that servo in, and I kind of release this clip and tuck this out. Now, when you take this out, you got to watch. A lot of pressure on that spring. It can get kind of exciting. You could actually lose it and just pull the servo out and all that. And I have a couple more here I'm going to check. And I got this guy here. But you can make a tool. You got these little bolt holes in the valve body here. You can put the valve body bolts back in, kind of put them in loose, and you can make a bracket or anything, and basically just kind of push down on that to release these springs. So there's all kind of ways you can do that. You'll just have to do what's best for you. I don't know, maybe you have some tools that will do that. Let's see, there's the bottom of the pan, and you got this board that runs across the bottom of the transmission to the servos and solenoids. Very genius. Don't have to worry about breaking wires or anything. And the pan's really in good shape. My parts aren't here yet today. They may come today. If they do, I'm going to start putting this back together. Won't take very long. There's a look at the back of the transmission here, the bottom of it. And I don't see anything cracked, busted. So everything looks pretty good. I will go ahead and pull that out. It's ready to come out. All I have to do is put my hand on the far back of the housing back here on the output shaft, push up on it, and kind of lift up on that, and this whole unit will come out. And I don't think there's any more clutch packs. I think that I could be wrong. It's been a while since I had one of these transmissions apart. I know I've got, let's see, clutch packs behind the pump. I have a clutch pack here that I know is bad. Oh, here we go. Okay, I got the clutch pack behind the pump. I got the clutch pack here, which is the reverse band, I believe. Then I got the forward clutch pack, which is bad, which has that seal right there torn. I think you guys saw that in my other video. This is why I had to tear the transmission apart. And then I have this clutch pack here, which I believe is the intermediate. I'll have to go back and check. So I've got I've got 4 here. So I don't think there's any more in there, but I could be wrong. But I'll take that out, this housing out. See, there's that shaft. I just got to put my hand on it and kind of guide it out because there's a bearing back here. I don't want to break it. And really, that's about it. Pretty easy transmission to work on. The valve body, like I said, I typically don't pull them apart and do anything to them. If the transmission's been shifting fine, I usually don't mess with the valve body because you will just open up a can of worms. My advice is to you, if you're going to do something like this, just fix what's wrong with the transmission. Don't mess with the valve body. 90% of the time, I have found out that transmission issues aren't valve body related. It's usually either a hard part that is broken, busted. It's usually a seal torn that's gotten blown, causing a low line pressure, or it's just basically burned up clutches, like right here. These are my forward clutches, and some of these are in pretty bad shape. I rechecked them. For example, this is a pretty decent clutch. Here's a clutch that has gotten toasted. If I can get it out there. Right here. This one is black. So you can see the difference here. These clutches are pretty much ruined, but my new one should be here today, along with my... I actually ordered this entire piece. It's got the seal on it, but the seal pops right off. But it should be here today. If not, it'll be here tomorrow. But in the meantime, I can put half of this transmission back together since I've inspected it. And it seems to be okay. And just wait for the part to come in and continue to put it back together, and I'll be done. So I will say this, years ago, I was scared to death to work on these transmissions. I thought you had to be a genius and blah, blah, blah. And there's an old saying, we're afraid of what we don't understand. Well, after about 4 or 5 transmissions, it turned out to be it's not that big of a deal. And one other thing is, you got to ask yourself: is a week about, say a week of time, is it worth about $2,000 to $3,000 of your time? Well, if you answer yes, then you should probably just try to fix your own transmission if you've done a lot of mechanical work. Just my opinion, anyway. So there you go. We'll see if the parts come in today. But there's one more look at everything kind of laid out there all the way across the back. And I've got it laid out exactly how I pulled it out, and when I put it back in, I will know how to put it back in. And there is the new torque converter, which was causing a lot of stalling issues with this vehicle. When I would put it in drive, it was just like somebody had to pop the clutch on it, and it didn't want to stop. It just kept going. No matter how hard you hit the brake, it would eventually stop, but the engine would die. So it was pretty much locking up. Wasn't supposed to do that. But we replaced that and took care of the problem until the seal decided to blow. The forward seal on the forward clutch pack. So there you go. Alright, so hopefully today I'll get my parts in and we'll start putting this back together. But I might go ahead and pull this out real quick, this last section here, and just give you a nice little look at it and show you what it's all about. Alright, I finally got the final drive section out. It is sitting right there. We'll look at it here in a second, but before you do take that out, you do have to take off a sensor right there. It's your turbine speed sensor, I believe is what they call it. It is right there. A little 8mm bolt, and sometimes they can be kind of difficult to get out. you have to twist and twist and take a little screwdriver and kind of get in behind there and kind of gently force it out. Don't hit it too hard or force it too quick, because you will break it. And this actually holds part of that in there, so you cannot get that out until you take this sensor out. And let me give you a look inside the transmission. And it is basically tore all apart all the way back to the back. So it wasn't bad at all to tear apart. Now, here is the final output shaft, as some call it, and there's a bearing that sits back here on the back. Check it, make sure there's no bad needles in there or anything, and check your housing, check all your little gaskets and stuff. These have little metal gaskets, not gaskets, bushings on them there, and see, that one looks good. Middle one looks good, and that one looks good. So that's all I can find. I cannot find anything else wrong with this transmission at this point. And there are no more clutch packs. That was the very last clutch pack I showed you over there. That is actually in this transmission. So looks like at this point, I'm just going to start putting it all back together, cleaning up a little bit, and just kind of put it all back together until I get up to the forward clutches, until my part comes in, and start replacing the seals and the clutches. But it looks like that's about it. Let me give you a look at the back. This is your 2-3 accumulator. You really don't have to take it out, but you might want to take it out since you have it out now, just to check the seals on it. And you got a piston here, and you got one up here. It's always a good idea to pull them apart and check them since you got the valve body off. And here's a look at the housing and what it looks like on that side, all the way up through the top of the transmission. So I guess that'll be it for now. I'll just have to wait and see if my parts come in today. So parts come in, I'll show you what I've done so far, and we'll just continue to go. Continue to slowly work here. This is your EPC sensor solenoid. Check it for any debris. Make sure nothing's down in there. And it looks like it's okay. A lot of this stuff I didn't have to take off in order to just repair what was bad in the transmission. And I do believe someone's probably rebuilt this gosh, I don't know, 20, 30,000 miles before me, because it was pretty clean on the inside, and some of the clutch packs are like brand new still, except the clutch pack here that I showed you earlier that got burnt because it blew a seal on the forward piston right there. Doesn't take much. You lose a seal in these transmissions and it's over. and let's see. Yeah, everything else is in pretty good shape. So that's it. Just give you guys a quick update. Like I said, this is not a 100% thorough teardown. I just wanted to give you guys, if you're tearing into one of these transmissions, what you are going to get into and what to expect. So. Alright, so we'll start putting it back together, and when parts come back in, I'll see you again. We'll talk a little more about the transmission. Alright, little update. Good news is I got my package. The bad news is they didn't send a damn seal. This is my old one. I didn't get a seal with the piston, so I got my clutches, but now I got to find out what happened to my seal. So what I did, I'm not going to wait around. I went to Ford Garage here in my area, and they have me a brand new seal coming for this piston here by Monday. It's Friday now, but by Monday it'll be here. It's only $6, so they'll take care of that. Now, one other quick thing here is I told you earlier I was going to go ahead and check all these servos and pistons. All of them are good. I did find this one on the bottom, the accumulator. I believe it's the 1-2 accumulator. It is bad, and I'll show you that in a second. But everything else checks out really good. And here is the other piston I found that was bad. It's always good to tear these things apart. And you can see it is torn. Good thing I took that out. So I got this online for $13 brand new, and another spring coming. The spring is okay. They give you a spring, but this was definitely bad. So this piece here and this piston, forward piston right there, that guy is bad. Those are the only two things I could find in this transmission, and I am ready to put it back together. So what I've done, I went and put the housing in the back in, and I put it all back together up to the sunshell gear, and I even got my little spring retainer in there. You're probably not going to be able to see it because I've got the clip in there, the little spring-like thing, anti-rattle spring. It's in, and there's a clip back here that kind of goes in the case. It's kind of hard to see. Then all this stuff here just falls in. You just kind of take your time and put it back in, and really this is all I can do right now. I mean, I can't go any further because I've got to get this seal on this. And once I put the seal back in on this, and I can put all this back together, the clutch pack and this guy here, the reverse band, and the forward clutches. And by the way, I did check the intermediate clutches that were back here. They're already in. They're in the bottom. That's the third pack of clutches that are in this. They're all the way in the back. They checked out okay. I took them apart. The seals are okay, and we're good there. So that's about all I can do right now. And here is the other piston, the accumulator piston, and it's kind of goes in there like that. Seals are good there. No problem. I don't need any more problems. I just wanted to get it back together. But everything else here checked out okay. And it's nice and clean. I'll clean it up here. Well, I'll clean it up here a little bit. And that's it. So actually, you know, when I started to put this together, I kind of set it up on a block. And you want that shaft to kind of stick down there, because you want to be able to turn the bottom of that shaft as you're putting those pieces in. It makes it fall in a lot easier. So I guess when I get the rest of my parts, we'll go ahead and finish up, but it's slowly getting there. So that's the update for now. When I get the seal, I will continue. And just a quick reference here, I went to the parts store, and here's what I'm looking at. The seal that I need is, let's see, how did this work out? I gotta figure out which one it was now. Okay, here we go. The A7, let's see. There we go. The A7262, that's the piston. That's the aluminum. Now the outer seal that I blew, which is right there, the 7A548, that's the part I need. And there's that inner seal right there, and that part number on that is 7C099 on this particular transmission. They give me a printout. We had to look at that, and there are the clutches, and it kind of sets up the how everything goes. So those are on the way. That seal, I should say, is on the way. Should be here in a couple of days. Being Friday, won't get here until probably Monday. So I'll just do some other projects. I'll put some new brakes on my Caravan. I'll make a video of that. All right, well, that's it for now, guys. So thanks for watching, and like I said, I'll give you guys an update here in a couple of days on this transmission. It won't take long to put it back together, it looks like. Give you one more nice look at it there, out here in the sun. Gotta get me a better garage. I need a bigger garage. I'm running out of space fast.